I'm still processing it. I'm still into the process of trying to accept कि हाँ I can't call him every month now to be like हाँ मेरा GST भर दो I have to pay money now to CAs. हमने कहा अरे यार पैसा देना पड़ रहा है इसके लिए.
Hilarious. Yeah, you know, Ruben, quotes really help during grief.
Hi and welcome to another episode of Then What Happened, a show where we share stories from our lives. In this episode, we're going to talk about death and grief, and I'm joined by Aayushi Jagad and Sumaira Shaikh. Hope you have fun.
One of the quotes was, which I read, I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Which was when you lose your teeth, your tongue, no, tooth actually, your tongue keeps going to that place to check if the tooth's still there, and eventually it gets used to no tooth. But it's a very eventual process.
I want to ask you this, but like, it's been a few months. You know the stages of grief? Like, have you heard about?
No, I'm a man.
No, God.
I don't grieve.
Oh my God.
I
Ruben.
just.
So he's in denial.
He's in denial. He's the first stage. Oh my God. He's not even moved past the first stage.
Exactly. He's not even a baby. He's like sperm.
Yeah, he's you're pregnant, you know that. That's it. That's Ruben's grief right
now. Yeah. So
gonna be out of your body very soon.
The 5 stages of grief, right? According to psychology, like all of the journals, is denial. The second one,
Denies a lot of frustration, anger.
No, but what is the second?
Isn't there like 7 stages of grief?
No, it's 5.
Wait,
guys, we should Google this really before we. No, because it's denial. It is bargaining, anger, and acceptance. Finally, I can't remember the second stage.
It's denial, anger, bargaining, depression.
Oh, depression, and then acceptance. Yes. So
I just went to acceptance because what happened with me was that he had an accident, and my dad had an accident, and we already knew it was very serious. It was not very sudden also. It was sudden because हमको पता नहीं था कि एकदम से हो गया, and we had to travel all the way, and he was in the hospital for 2 days. So in a way, we knew it could go either way, and it was a head injury. So we knew कि even if he comes out of this, it's not going to be the way it was, because the head injury was very fatal. So we had, in a day, we had processed it that ki either or, and we'll have to go through it. But after he passed away, I did not have the time to ki kya ho gaya. I had to be quick with arrangements of bringing him back to Bombay, calling everybody. My mom was still in the denial phase. Actually, his birthday is like 2 days away. We were organizing a party. How can he just leave? Aisa. And I had to make all the arrangements ki relatives ko inform karna hai, पंडित को बुलाना है, ये करना है, वो करना है. So I just went straight into the what's next
reaction mode. So you were reacting more than you were actually processing. And have you had time to process since?
I did. I was processing it for the next few days, and what happened was I was supposed to do new material at an open mic. This was again a few days after. I did not wait because काम hai. So I got on stage and I was supposed to do different material, but I ended up talking about what happened. And it worked. It worked well. But I don't have the courage to do it again because तभी वो निकल रहा था. It was just
catharsis.
Catharsis हो रही थी on stage, and people were like, dude, this is great. And they loved it and everything. But I'm like, no, this was not for you to like.
Do you feel like you would exploit it if you use it? Is that why?
No. I felt great.
Okay.
When it came out, everything, all the frustration of all the things that were happening around me at that time, and I used them as jokes, and I felt good.
Okay.
I was not worried कि ये लोग हंस रहे हैं कि नहीं हंस रहे. I was just having that moment of letting everything go, and that helped. That helped me become like, हाँ चलो ठीक है. Wo moment was when I kind of accepted it.
What about you? Like, where do you think you were in like the first? Because you got on stage pretty quickly.
No, I think Ruben got on stage before me. I got on stage. Yeah, he didn't you go? Because I remember this is because I tell you why I remember he got on stage before me is because I got on after 2 months. Okay, and I was like, okay, I think this is too soon or whatever. But I didn't have any other comic. I don't know how and when a comic will get on. And I thought he'll take like a month off or 2 months off and he won't be seen or whatever. And he was already on lineups before the incident. So I thought he'll just draw back or pull out from those shows. But then I asked people like, is Ruben there? Had Ruben come? And like, yeah, he's coming, he's performing. And I'm like, okay, this is... Okay. Okay, then I hope he's fine though. So he did, but I got on after 2 months. And with me, I don't have the courage. The first thought that I had when I was on stage, will they know what I'm going through? So I didn't want to give it up at all.
Okay.
Like, not at all. I wanted to stick to my material and I wanted to do just my material and get off stage. So I was very like particular about just doing my jokes and not letting out that, hey guys, by the way, I'm really sad right now.
But have you done it since?
I've not at all revealed on stage the truth.
Yeah.
Never.
Do you think you ever will?
I think I will in the future, but once I did by mistake where I was like, it's true. The funeral is about my family. I have a joke about funeral, and which I like try to tell people that it's my friend, but it's actually just me. Yeah. And then there was just pin drop silence, which is fine. But I also felt like, oh fuck, I said it. And then I took it back immediately. I was like, no, it's a joke, it's a joke.
She had to like cover up for like reality. Sorry, too real. Come back.
Yeah.
I'm funny, come back.
I'll put my mask back on.
Of hiding this one thing very nicely. So I'm concealing it like on stage. I am not going to talk about it till I feel like I'm ready, and I don't think I am. Like it's very painful. Still.
Yeah.
Of course.
Have you and since then have you talked about it?
I'm writing a whole special about this, but I'm going to talk about it very shortly because recently I've just like, so my relationship with my dad was way different from probably you and your mothers, because you were very close to her, I assume, and brother being very, so me and my dad were kind of aloof from each other thoda sa, but I came to realize ki why did I not like him, and that's the whole special about ki realizing that no, wait, he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Why did I not like him? We are both alike in a way.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's so heartwarming. It's I think that's a little more difficult, if anything. See, with me, I was so young, right? And I loved mom, but we used to fight a lot. But that also meant we used to get along a lot as well. Like, we were very close. So, because I have friends who like tell me like, I mean, yeah, I'm not close to my parents. And I was like, morning, ye bhi hota hai. Like, aise bhi hota hai life mein. What do you mean? And she's like, yeah, she says stupid things. And I'm like, excuse me, you're not allowed to talk like this about mama.
That is my mama.
Exactly. She's like, why are you getting, like, she's very much alive and I don't, like. And I was like, how dare you? Oh my God, how dare you? Like, it was, so I think this would be harder, no? Like, to evaluate. It's easier to make amends. It's hard enough to make amends when someone's alive.
Yeah.
So imagine you're trying to make amends with an idea of someone.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it did hurt me also. I had regrets and stuff. But you know what? ठीक है यार. He was happy. So that makes me happy that he was happy.
How did it affect you as a person? Like, do you think this changed you in any way?
Yes, a lot.
In what, like, the most discernible way you think?
Well, earlier, earlier I was not as responsible as I am now in a way.
Okay.
Like, I used to think at that time कि हाँ आज क्या कर रहा हूँ कल क्या कर रहा हूँ.
Yeah.
Now I'm more like अगले 6 महीने में क्या करना है, अगले 1 साल का क्या प्लान है. Cause I realized कि कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है. So yeah, let's plan for things. And what I also learned is that when you die, they say that your entire life flashes in front of you, right? But that none of us can attest for. What we can say is when you die, people remember your life.
Yeah.
And they try to, like, you are remembered, you are loved, you are adored, you are also made fun of in some instances. So I want to make sure that they remember me in such a way. तो अभी वो एक वो हो गया कि I want to live life like I want to and अच्छे से.
Aw. And how do you think it changed you?
Oh, so I would just first of all like to add to what he said, for that I had a very complicated relationship with my brother as well. It wasn't normal. After a point, it wasn't, as because my brother was very troubled as a person. Like, the reason why he passed away so young was because there are certain personalities where you're just like, I wish they would just listen. Or like they're not made for this world, because the world is a certain way and they are just not fitting in. They'll just die because they're so impulsive, and after a point, after 10 years of the struggle of I think it's him, it just became like everyone accepted him for who he is, but he was still going to die because he was just making mistakes after mistake and wasn't learning from it. And so what happens when you see someone just go through their journey, and it's just very painful, and because it got so painful for a lot of my family members, we just cut off from him because it was too tough to see him get into trouble every time. So we cut off from him, and then he passed away. So a lot of people in my family didn't get a time or chance to close our stories with him, to tell him that, listen, we don't hate you, we can't be with you because it's too painful. So he I think went away with a lot of questions. So it was just very sudden for our family. So like so that's like you said, like it's added grief. Like it's just like you also said, like first you have to accept someone's death, but you also have to accept that, okay, fuck, I didn't even get a chance to, so mine is like, I'm also going through that. But what about you, Aayushi? Like, what was your relationship with your mother?
Oh my god, it was, so I was jealous because my brother was my mama's boy, okay? And he was like, I was the idiot, and he was like, hey, dekho, like, I have trophy. Like, he was the sweetest boy, and he would listen to everything mom would say. And if my mom told me we are eating paneer today, I'm like, no chicken. Like, that's how opposite. It was very opposite, but she was fiercely independent, Like, I maintain this always because, dude, I'm Guju and I'm bad Guju. Like, I'm that intense, like, 19 saal pe shadi karoge kya Guju. Like, it's really intense. And she was so fiercely feminist. I just hated that I don't get to know her as an adult. That's why, like, I look at okay, so this is something I want to say, okay, before we share stories. I think anyone who has lost someone gets this on some level. When you hear another person's story, in my head, I always go, yeah, but like, did you go through pain? Like, do this competition element that, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's when I hear a story and I'm like, but tune real time kiya hai? Like, it's like, is it
the real grief.
it almost becomes a competition. So first it's a competition with normies, like people who is like whatever, uska pura family sab alive hai, like dada dadi bhi alive hai, and I'm like, tu chhod yaar, tu please mat bata mere ko ki kaise life.
Can you edit this one out where the only suffering was partition?
I am not editing this.
Oh my god, I'm really sorry.
God. You might be depending on your age, circumstance, and like however it happened, you will be an asshole sometimes. Like it may be like on a day where, like you said, that denial anger combines, and like somebody just like out of the blue, they don't know what like your baggage is, and you just be like a quick asshole.
Actually, but if you're snapping at someone, that's different.
Okay.
But if you're taking pride in that, hey, you're not respecting me because of my sadness, that's not right.
That's narcissistic also.
Yeah, that is. I feel.
I don't.
मेरा दुख ज़्यादा है. I mean, तू क्यों इतना दुखी? मेरा दुख ज़्यादा.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't think any of us is like to that extent.
No,
but
not
like,
that.
I just mean, but I'm very curious. So maybe it comes from narcissism. Like you said, it comes from narcissism. But that makes me curious of like the survival of the fittest thing, where I'm like, is the reason survival of the fittest? इसलिए मेरे को ये competition करना है कि मेरे को ये competition करना है to go like इसके पास ज़्यादा कुछ family members है, but मेरे पास badge of honor है.
No,
like,
but you
is
also
that the reason?
No, I think you should understand this कि your circumstances of the death were different from that particular person, and that's how they're processing it. Like for me, me and my dad did not have a healthy relationship. I did not like him, and we did not talk a lot. But he was also he used to live away from us. So for the last 10 years I lived with my mom and my sister. So even after he was gone, there was no such like missing him around the house. Okay. That's why it was easier to process in a way. Because if you live in the same house, वो थोड़ा होता है कि अरे पापा पानी लाना, and you realize oh पापा तो नहीं है.
Oh my god.
पर वो नहीं था. So that's why
खुद जाना पड़ेगा.
It's so sad.
I use Papa Painlana as an example. I never asked my Papa for pani.
What kind of relationship was this? I agree. Of course he hated
पापा को पानी के लिए कौन पूछेगा? लाउड
पापा को बुला रहा है.
I meant पापा पानी लाऊं क्या? That's what I meant.
Oh, please.
Okay, I want to tell you the most twisted thought that my little 18-year-old child brain could think of. Okay, my mom had cooked something. And she was like really frail because my mom had cancer, and she was sick for a while. She was sick for about 6.5 months. But like that day she was feeling better. So she came home from the hospital after a treatment, and she cooked a shiro, like it's a sweet Gujarati dish. And before you pass, like before you die, like that, they call it like a term like angels flourish or something. Like the last few days, suddenly the body feels better. And that's a bad sign because doctors go like, okay, this body is like ready to like check out. So we got all excited. We were like, fuck, she's getting better. This is amazing. Stage 4 cancer, you don't see like a lot of hope. So she came and cooked something. And then the next day, she went back to the hospital. She was again started puking. She went back to the hospital. And 2 days later, she passed away. But now the syro she had made it's a sweet dish. So it just stayed in the fridge, right? Nobody touched it. Okay. So now the morning of she passed away at 12. Now that has happened. I have come home to get that sari and like all of that for procedure. And I see the syro in the fridge. And I was like, if I just eat this and don't tell Johan.
Oh my god.
What a dick, dude.
Because
Johan is your younger brother.
My younger brother. So I was like, my dad is a diabetic. He doesn't need sugar.
Oh gosh. Damn
This
you.
is the most. I didn't eat it because I'm not a terrible person.
Oh,
but
fuck you. I would have eaten.
I would have cried, but I would have eaten
So no, because in my head, right? So I see the syro and I go for a shower because like I just come back, like I'm in the shower and I'm go, fuck, my mom's not gonna cook anything again. And I was like, I'm such a sexist cunt.
Oh
my God, I just said, like, it's just
No, it's not.
I thought to myself, I'll miss my mom because my mom's not going to cook again. Like, that's what. Ayushi, how dare you feel like this?
Oh, no. But that's an okay feeling because moms, they love to cook. It's not about sexism.
I know, but
it's
like,
about...
and then she'd made the zero. I was like, should I just eat it?
Why did you eat it? Did you not eat it then?
I shared it with Johan because I feel like...
I would have been very sad if you didn't eat it.
I was... Because I was...
You ate it alone.
Yeah.
You would have been the most terrible person.
I would have never forgiven myself if I would have. But I'm just saying it's such a twisted... Like, because your body, like, it's on the films. You know, that biggest misconception about grief is that your body takes time. Like, your brain takes time and your feelings take time. Everything needs to adjust to what has happened. So your body is almost like in autopilot when it happens. And like, you're like, haan, theek hai, ho raha hai. Oh shit, rona aa raha hai. But you still haven't realized
No, it's true.
the fucking gravity of the situation. Which is why that Seera thing, like, in my head, I was like, should I eat this sweet?
It's true because death is so unnatural, right?
Yeah.
Like, so unnatural, and there's so many natural, like, other things that you keep doing, and you're like, fuck, how do I do it in context of death? Like, for example, like, my brother, he didn't live with us, but wherever he was living, they gave us like everything that he was using at that time. So they gave us like his half can of drink also. That this was half. And I don't know why they returned it to us. It's no nostalgia, but why will we? What will we do with it? But because my mother was too emotional, she kept that also in the fridge. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, can I look at the expiry of this?
This is what I'm talking about. It's hilarious to think about.
And then when my mom wanted to like just keep it, I don't know, you can't keep it forever. So my mom was not around. I just had to throw it away. You just have to take these decisions, you know. But like, mom, that's a perishable object. You need to throw that away.
Yeah.
But it's true. These are so natural things, right? You're just throwing away food from your fridge, but you can't because the context is so unnatural. You're like, what is right and what is wrong?
Let me ask you this.
Context.
Have you kept any of his stuff?
I'm sorry, but it's too painful. It's too painful for me to have anything that belonged to him. But we have like this one corner in our house where everything of his is kept. Like, everything not perishable. In the end, we fought a lot. Everyone fought a lot, saying, no, not this one. This we can't, this decays. But
there was an election in Sumaira's house. The debate happened of like whether, two party sides and then opposition won.
we were finally like, mobile, yes. Check. Specs, check.
Yeah.
And
distribution of assets.
All these Aadhaar card, check. Oh my god, all these things.
And you? Have you kept stuff?
So my dad also lived akela, but in a different city. So we had to travel there, and he had his own house. So a similar story to Sumaira's, but not a perishable item. So basically, he had bought a new dining table with chairs. Which was nice. It was quite nice looking and everything. But
I love where the story is going.
It was very brand new. And my dad had told my sister also how much he bought it for. So it was quite sundar. Now I was in a state of mind of just letting everything go. Do not take anything from here. Except for few important things like documents, pictures, whatever. But baki sab bed, his clothes, just give them away. And even so, the dining table, and my mom looks at me, she's like, but nahi hai.
I love the mechanics of death. The mechanics of death make me laugh so much. Because your own personal like need and vendetta comes into play.
And my mom was trying to sell it. And this person says, I will pay only 2,000 rupees. And my mom says, 10,000 ka kharida tha. 2 din hue leke. इतना तो चाहिए ही. The mom like, I was like, Mom, stop bargaining. What is wrong with
There's a
you?
different stage of bargaining.
Exactly.
So that guy went away, but the other one came and quoted even less now. 'Cause like people know कि अरे death हुआ है, so they just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
They will not like
Bargain or
bargain in a
anything,
proper.
Yeah.
So I was like, हाँ ठीक है जो भी है दे दो. But my mom is still like, अरे यार
महंगा है.
8,000 का तो बेच देना चाहिए था. I'm like, यार mom, that is not important now.
My family turned into hoarders. Like for thoda wo TV show na US wala wo hoard, like where they just stack newspapers and shit. Anything my mother had breathed around, like, or just say minutely touched, like we just kept everything because I couldn't bear that. I was like, you cannot ask me to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
Like you can't, please can we decide later? And then I remember the segment Kaki and one of my some auntie, someone like family friend. Also, we need to talk about how many nonsense people come to funerals.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Relatives.
All of the nonsense people. And they're like, ye sari? Yeah, ye sari. And I was like, nobody's going to see it. It's going to burn you guys. You dummies. I'm so done with this conversation. And then I took a pause and I was like, I like the red one. Get now this is only funny in retrospect.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm sitting and laughing like a maniac at my father and my mother's funeral.
Yeah, you can't laugh
like
at
oh my God.
ever. But if my dad lived in the same house or even in the same city, I'm sure 75% of the things at his house would have come home.
Yeah.
Because my mom would have been like, nah, ये रहेगा.
Yeah.
Because we had to travel back to Bombay and there was no way for us to carry so much. So I was like, nah, nikalo.
Makes sense.
We did get a lot of things from there. Like we bought a huge bag of documents and papers which are useless. I told my mom, it's useless. Documents क्यों? Now we like now my mom's like हाँ रद्दी में बेच दो अब.
Oh my God.
I'm like अरे तो लेके क्यों आया? मैं बोला था जरूरत नहीं है.
Oh my God. After what happened, like the first time when I was like try to put death into context, you know how everything that happens to you in life, you try to put it in context with art that you've seen, like movies that you've seen and songs that you've seen, like first time love, pehla nasha. But like death, I think more fucking people need to start talking about it so that it just becomes normal when it happens to people. Because I had no reference. I'm sure there are movies and shows which I researched later and watched, and I was like, okay, they're also going through the same thing, so it's normal. But more people, it needs to become, you need to introduce the topic to like people so that they know what to do. Like now I didn't know what to do. Like religion knows what to do. Like people who are religious,
really,
they know what to do. Like people who came to my house who are religious, and I am a believer, but I'm not a religious person. So what happened was I didn't know the traditions of death. I didn't know the traditions that surrounds death. But people were so confident and they were so comfortable with it. It was, their comfort was uncomfortable. You know?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Because like they just look at you and start like telling you ye karna hai, ye karna hai, ye karna hai. I was like, एक second, hello. I don't know any of this. You got just like I say, take off and decide, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Like it's
very weird. You know, death is the only place where you realize community is very important.
It was so awkward in my house because Johan was still in school. He was only 14, my younger brother. And I was 18. I was just in first year of like first semester of first year college. What a baby child. And like my school friends, I was the social one. Johan had two friends. So like those two friends was waiting in the parking lot. And my friends had come and occupied my room. Now they're all like different friends. Okay, so this introduction is happening. It's like, oh, you know Aayushi from, oh, you're Aayushi's boyfriend. Oh. And I was like, guys, hi. Can we not do this right now? And I say this and one of my friends is like, oh my God, you have a mustache. You should get it waxed. And I was like,
oh my God. Oh my God.
And I look at her and I don't know what to say in that moment. So I laughed. Okay, I laughed and I felt this guilt. Like, I was like, how dare, it's just happened. I can't laugh. And unfortunately, my brother walks by and he gives me this like, tu has rahi hai? Like, itni teri himmat look. And I was like, oh my, these people, like, there are too many people at funerals.
Yeah,
like, there are also too many people at funerals you've never seen before.
That's true.
And they were coming and telling me about my mom.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, did you want to slap anyone?
Oh God! Of course.
I had an
Funeral.
incident,
Oh,
okay?
God,
My
please,
mom
God.
was still trying to process this and she was just breaking down every second. She was just in that state of mind.
Okay.
And people were coming over to our house. And on the third day, there was these aunties that came, all my mom's friends, okay? Now, firstly, I had taken over the mantle of answering the question, तो पर हुआ क्या था? Because my mom could not say it. She would break down. So I was like, जैसे मैं ऐसा vicinity में रहता था, क्या हुआ? हाँ, मैं बताता है, मम्मी रुको. मैं
The
आ गया.
one-line description that you have to give. Again,
elevator
you have to like. फिर मैंने उनको बताया क्या हुआ, and they started their own ऐसा discussion of these aunties just discussing, and then there was this auntie, head injury ना मुश्किल है, हो जाता है वो head injury में तो रहती है, मतलब मेरी जो चाची थी वो तो बाथरूम में फिसल के गिर गई. It is that simple. And my mom is like, what? And she's crying. My mom's already crying. और ये उसके सामने बोल रही है. तो मैं इतना गुस्सा हुआ. And my Masi was in the same room. And that's the moment where me and my Masi, we both got up. Okay.
Yeah.
And we went to the other room and I was like, क्या औरतें हैं यार. And my Masi also, क्या चूतिया औरतें.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I was like,
Wonderful.
Masi, you're so cool.
Wonderful moment.
Fuck, this is so funny.
When my Masi said, चूतिया औरतें ना.
Dude, I started doing this as a bit on stage, like thoda embellish karke, but at some point some uncle. So usually the men sit in the main hall and I was like, that makes no sense. It's a woman. Fucking at least let the women sit at a woman's funeral.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So in the hall and the women were sitting in the kitchen, like my house is secondary, whatever. And this, oh my God, I took it as a compliment. A lot of people came, a lot of people gave condolences. Dude, that Laudu at one point he stood up and he crossed over my mom's body.
What the fuck?
Mother.
Dude, I'm not
Aayushi,
fucking
oh
kidding.
God.
I started doing it as a bit, okay? Because like it's a difficult bit to set up. Because I'm like, what do I say? This is so stupid. But he actually, and I was like, gir gaye hote tu.
Oh my God.
What are you trying to fucking T-bone my mother? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, guys, this is not happening.
Yeah.
Because जगह नहीं थी, बहुत सारे लोग आ गए. हमारा घर उतना बड़ा है नहीं. तो कितने like 50 लोग आएंगे घर में, तो कैसे किसके घर में fit होंगे? And I was like, guys, this is. And I saw it and I just couldn't stop uncontrollably crying. And my fucking aunt is telling another aunt saying, oh, she's in shock. And I was like, no, is somebody.
Your husband.
Oh my God. It is. And then I remember getting so irritated every time someone would come and ask me, chai ban gayi? And I was like, oh, I am going to murder you.
That's
and
true.
then you are going to have a funeral. And then I'm going to come to that funeral and be like, coffee.
Oh. That's true. They're fucking people. They really are. You know, once what my friend did at my funeral. Or my funeral. It was my funeral. My birthday party. And the funeral we hosted.
How many tickets were sold at Book My Show?
Opening.
It was 200 ticketed, but 250 showed up.
So it was a fictional situation. Continue.
So she came. Friend came. and she started crying. And I was like, you were that close to my brother?
That's a weird way to find out. You guys were
dating? And then she's crying. And then I'm like, okay, Alfia, why are you crying? I'm sorry, please edit it out on me. I'm like, so and so, why are you crying? And she looks at me and she's like, I just broke up. I was like, you broke up with someone else right now and you're crying at my brother's funeral? More than me? Making me look bad.
Dude, I have such asshole friends. I'd broken up with my boyfriend by then, okay? And my mom was really fond of him. He's the only boyfriend my mom had ever met.
Okay.
Also, my first boyfriend, मैं major ex side. मेरे को स्कूल में किसी ने भाव नहीं दिया. College में जाके I was like, fuck. मैं तो अब वो legally blonde वाली. Like, I'm there now. So, they chose the day of my mom's funeral. They stayed till late. Because I wasn't allowed to go to the fucking smashan because I'm a girl. And so they stayed late and the fucking idiots chose that day to tell me that my friend was now dating my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, kya laudu log ho tum log yaar?
This
Kya
is
like,
really...
thoda read a room guys, read a room.
There's a dead body in the room.
That's a good, anybody listening, good rule of thumb. If there is a dead body in the room, please do not discuss any potential relationships or existing relationships.
Or just don't talk. Just keep quiet. That's
Wait for the dead body to talk.
Hilarious. Wait for the dead body to talk.
Yeah, dumb fucks should really shut the fuck up on funerals.
I really wanted to bitch slap people.
Oh my god. See, you know, my college friends, I'm really sorry, Ruben, so excited. I'll just add on to what Aayushi said. My college friends asked my other friend who's close to me, who laughed, and of course that news didn't reach me, but told him or her that, listen, will Sumaira come for Lonavala trip? This was 2 days after my brother passed away. And my friend was like, please don't ask her this. Please just don't ask her this. But I'm telling you, it's really funny. And then she told me, I was like, oh my God, thank God they didn't ask me.
maybe they wanted to ask you as a take a break from things.
So after 2 days from your house,
I think
go to Lonavala.
But you know, alternately, so one of my closest friends, she also lost a parent. And she, oh my God, broke me. She called me that when it happens and I hadn't heard it yet. And she goes, guess who can make dead parent jokes with you? That's how I fucking find out. And I was like, are you an idiot?
What?
Are you stupid? Is that how you... But I actually went to her hometown with her.
Okay.
And this thing of like to take them away, right, from this thing. Because very traditional Indian families, funerals can turn people into like sticklers for tradition and you know what I mean? And if like she used to smoke occasionally and like smoker, drinker, my point is you tend to go to your comfort, right? When you're sad. So now if a young millennial is sad, they will go like, fuck, sutta chahiye, bro. Like, where is she going to? I think me and another friend, we only went to provide her with cigarette. Like that was the, because what else? We didn't know anybody there, but it was our job for 1 hour every day to just take her the fuck away. From like, kitna khana banana hai, kaun aa raha hai, condolence, that. And we would just have a death-free hour where we would have like CCD coffee and like smoke and then go back and have mint and like, so wait, let me ask you this. Having said this, when was the first time you went out after it happened?
Oh.
Do you remember?
For me, it was
A week.
19th, he passed away, 20th we were here, 22nd I did my open mic.
Oh yeah,
22nd I came out.
You went up on stage very fast. Like so fast, I was worried about you.
I'm sorry, was?
But I want to touch on the topic of this uncle. We took my dad to the smashan and we did the things. We came back and I go to the washroom. He also takes a bath. I come out and Masi says, here's some tea, some water. Sit, you must be tired. And my uncle comes sits ऐसा मांडी डाल के like हाँ थक गया यार and he's like जरा वो टीवी लगा ना वो अभी इलेक्शंस है ना like dude हरामी तू जरा चिल मारेगा जरा क्या हो इलेक्शन dude a few days later we had to go to do the visarjan of my dad's arthis. Okay, the pot is here, my dad is here in a pot in his lap, okay, and I will edit this out. So traffic ho raha tha and it was Friday afternoon. So you know where this is going. And people were walking by to a mosque.
Of course.
And this चाचा जी says ये मुसलमान लोग I'm like लौड़े मेरा बाप है तेरे मांडी पे क्या कर रहा है चूतिए चुप रहना this is not the time that
Oh my god.
I'm like I want to argue with you but I'm not in a state of mind to fucking argue.
Dude, going off of things to edit out, like my fucking grandmother.
You think these are not going to be edited out?
Dude, my fucking grandmother, my mother's body is in the room. Guys, dead body in the room rule. Sumaira.
Body in the room.
Dead body into the room, shut up.
She goes to my dad and she's like, look, I know you love my daughter. I love my daughter too. But if you want to marry again, I understand. And my father is like, she's right here. Mother truth. Like, she's fucking, it's been 6 months of cancer. Are you fucking kidding me? You're talking to me about getting married again. She's right here.
What is wrong with
Oh
people?
my god, no sensitivity. And like, they were like, no, we wanted to extend our support. And I'm like,
but not now.
do you have to do it in a new spouse? Like, is that
Right now, that too. Like right now.
Abhi?
She's still there. She's still there.
But
No.
that's what because I heard this and oh my god, I had an outburst.
I know you so well. I should have been in that room.
Shit, oh
Going,
shit.
this is gold.
मैं तो मतलब झगड़ा किया ठीक है एंड और झगड़े में मेरे को आके लोग बोल रहे कि तू शांत रह ना लाइक मैं कैसे रॉन्ग है इधर मैंने नहीं बोला मेरे बाप को जाके शादी कर
I can imagine Aayushi saying, excuse me?
Oh my god.
What did you just say?
Oh
If you say it after 6 years, I understand.
or even 6
a year.
months
is also fine.
Sumaira, like it would still be a shitty thing to say, but I could tell the story as like, oh yeah, that was an uncomfortable moment.
Yeah.
This is in the middle of the funeral. Like fuck, in the middle of it. Oh my god, people can be so tone deaf, right?
Yeah.
And I think the Sumedha and I wrote the sketch, right? Dead Parents. We had tried to see another perspective, but I think it's because of what you said earlier. People don't talk about it, which means that when it happens around people, they don't know what to say.
They don't know what to say,
They don't know
man.
what the
No
fuck to
one
say.
knows what to say.
Yeah.
I realized when people just reached out to me saying, listen, hey, we are here. It doesn't mean that I'll reach out to you, but it really makes a lot of difference when you see number of messages coming to you. You're like, okay, yeah, this person wants a message. Okay, this person wants a message. It's important to reach out to people and say, I don't know how I'll help you, but I'm there. It's very important to know that alive people are there.
Yes.
And a lot of people are like, I don't know, we didn't reach out to you because we don't know what to say. I'm like, you don't have to say anything. You just have to say, I'm there. That's it.
One of my closest friends didn't show up to meet me for like 6 weeks. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, I couldn't see you like this. And I'm like, you couldn't see me like this? I'm sorry, you? Tere baare mein ye chut ye.
But to be honest, I am that person. I'm still that person. Like, because I don't know what to say. And I know, because if I say, are you okay? Are you okay is the worst. Please never text
Are you
anybody.
okay and sorry?
Sorry, I
Kill
am
yourself
sorry.
like that.
You should not be sorry. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
My father was drinking and driving.
Now Ruben is doing material.
No, but then, so I have always been uncomfortable around death.
Yeah.
I will meet this person after, say, a few days.
Yeah.
And then we are going to get a drink and talk.
Yeah.
That's my way of, hey, let's get a drink and talk.
That's fair. No, but I also, after we addressed this, after it happened to me, it happened to Sumedha, whatever, our messages changed to people when they went through this. It was no longer sorry for your loss. It was no longer. Yeah. It was exactly word for word what you said. It's like, I don't know where you are at. I don't know how we may be able to help you.
Yeah.
But we're here. So if now, because people know I'm a comic or whatever, I add like a line of like, anytime you want to scream into pillows and throw cutlery, I'm here. Like that's because it's like a little like sign off. That's what I sent you. That's what I sent you as well. I was like, because it's I open with it's gonna suck. Because I'm like, I don't want to be like, oh, sab theek ho jayega, sun shines tomorrow again. Nahi. I was like, it's going to suck for a while. It's going to suck for a long time and you're not going to know what to do. But you want to throw cutlery, you want to scream into pillows.
The best kind of people, the best messages were from people who had like a loss.
Yeah.
Is because they knew exactly what to say. Suddenly they reach out to you and they've never spoken to me. Like, I'll take name. I don't know if you want to edit it out. But Aditi Mittal reached out to me. And we've never spoken in life. But she's gone through loss in her life. And she reached out and she was like, hey, listen, I heard. And it's going to be bad. But listen, I'm here. And if you ever want to. I'm like, that's really fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and it all made sense from people who were like, oh, we've gone through this shit. This sucks fucking.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
But I even appreciate it because for me, it's been a while now.
Yeah.
But like people, you meet so many people in a professional courtesy who have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, you don't open conversations with, hi, Aayushi, my mother's dead. I mean, I do sometimes. But like, but that's just to make other people uncomfortable.
You bring it up. Like,
I do. Oh my God, I need them to know. The narcissism is real.
Dude.
No, but like, anyway, my point being, like, Aditi also was one of those people who found out later. And she was the one, like, she reached out to me. And, like, this is so true. People you never thought would ever, like, be in your purview of things. And they just, like, go, like, you know what? I heard about this. I'm sorry that you're sad. Like, you know. But if you need anything, I'm there for you. That's so sweet.
I was constantly in touch with Aditi because she learned and she gave me numbers of doctors to get the second and third opinion, and she was constantly in touch with me for like, what's happening.
That's very good.
And so you three were the best text messengers after the loss.
Really?
Yeah,
is that what we're doing this
everybody
podcast?
else everybody
everyone else is like, sorry for your loss.
Are you okay? Buddy, how can I be okay? My dad died. How can you be okay? How is this question?
It's not.
It's not even like you should not ever ask anybody.
Okay?
Are you okay?
I think
No.
No, capital N-O, no. What are you going to do?
I have
no shit, Sherlock. No.
I have one less parent. I have just one parent left.
I have 50% parents. Wait, you wanted me to tell that
Oh,
story?
yeah.
Oh
dude.
shit. I was sitting with a comedian in Pune.
Okay, wait. So this is how we comedians process death.
Yeah.
Right? And how
normal people
who will listen to this podcast also are right now scandalized.
How dare these people?
How are they laughing? So this is a prime example of how comedians see opportunity and process it.
Yeah. No, this is interesting because it involves both.
Yeah.
Like, this is not two separate incidents. It's same incident, same time, in real time with comedian and normies. Normies are people normies are happy people. Like, with full families.
Are non-comedian people.
I wouldn't comment.
No, like, that's what anybody who has, like, life has just been like, haan, theek hai, tu chal le. And I'm like, haan, tu normal hai, tu maa chuda. Like, mere ko baat nahi karna tere se. So, I was sitting with a comic in Pune and he was telling me about how his parents did a supportive thing for him. And I used the phrase, like, it's a long story, but I at some point I used the phrase, oh, that's lovely. You know what? I wish I had supportive parents like that. Like, that's great. And he goes, no, Aayushi, you wish you had parents.
That's hilarious.
You, like, and he says this, now I take a pause. And I'm thinking, because the comedian brain, right? So I'm like, fuck, it's funny hai. Like, shit, you know. And I'm sitting with 3 normies. So, like, I take a moment and Anubhuti's, like, my friend's eyes are just like, excuse me, तुमने क्या बोला मेरे दोस्त को? और मैं ये इधर से गुस्सा आ रहा है और मैं उसको हाई फाइव दे रही है. So, like, now, this is what comics do. Now, ideally, was it Dicky? Sure, maybe, or not. Like, my point is, I don't see it like that.
No, it was not Dicky.
I don't think it was Dicky at all. I think it was Like I think that's how comics tell you that they care. Like,
no, it's true. It's true. Yeah. I want to.
Sumaira's like, yes, I know this. This I know.
This happened to me. One of the comics walked up to me and was very awkward around me. I was like, what is it? Just tell me. And this comic goes, when can I make a joke about it?
That is so
funny. And he said, now. And he made a joke and I was like, it's funny. Congratulations to you.
Oh my, we're horrible people.
Yeah, we're horrible.
We're horrible. Like, I mean, we're still nice because we have pain. But like the other comics are even more terrible.
Dude.
Shit.
But you know, that's I read something which gave me like a lot of, this is last thing I'm gonna share.
Yeah.
The one thing that gave me so much like tasalli कहते हैं ना कि अच्छा ऐसा होता है. So I read many articles, but one of the articles which was very beautiful, I'll share it with you also. It says that unfortunately, whatever it is, but grief is not a process that ends. It's a process that you live with till you die. And it's a physical thing that you drag, like it's sort of like a ropes attached to a stone that you drag with you. Some days it's light, some days it's going to be that fucking heavy. And so you should not wait for it to be over. And that gave me that relief that, okay, I don't have to fucking wait. I can just live with this. And so I now just make peace with, this is a part of me.
Yeah.
Like this grief is like my baby. Like I hold it everywhere I go. What is that you're carrying? Oh, it's my sadness. It's my grief. It's my precious. Yeah, it is my precious. It grows old with you.
Yeah, it is. That's a great way of looking. I want... You are so fucking right. Like, Sumaira has been the champion of this podcast.
Even I was going to say this, that grief won't go away because that person is gone away from your life. And you will... you can't forget that person. If you forget, you will not have grief, but you can't forget the person. So grief will always be there. The only problem is how you are dealing with that grief though. Like how intense is that grief? Like every time you remember the person, do you cry? Or does it destroy you from the inside? Ki fuck, ye person mere life mein nahi hai yaar. Does it, or you're like, yeah, this person is not with me anymore, and that is also grief.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But abhi khana banate.
Exactly.
I just want to say that we should also invite Keanu Reeves on this podcast. He's the champion of grief. That's right. All the quotes of Keanu Reeves.
Oh my god.
Oh, that man. Oh my god.
Dude,
I want to meet him. And I just want to be like, you saved my life.
For me, it was J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter because I was like, if Harry Potter can do it, I can do it.
Oh my god.
But Harry Potter was a baby.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to psych myself out. I was like, ye to bachcha tha, tu to like... I was like, giving myself, to bhi nahi kar sakti, kalori hai, like... I was like, trying to psych myself out. Yeah. New motion for the world, okay? Every time someone loses, anyone who is a creator or an artist, if they lose someone, make something with death. Yeah. And as a gift, you get Keanu Reeves. How about that motion?
That's true. Keanu Reeves deserve a hug by everybody in this world.
Yes,
7 billion hugs to Keanu Reeves.
So we have ended this podcast with a mission. Let's get 20,000 signatures.
Change.org petition.
Change.org petition. Keanu ko bhejo.
I want to hug Keanu.
Reeves. Can you please name this podcast Hug to Keanu Reeves?
Thank you for listening. Hope you guys had fun. If you did, please share with your friends. Let people know about this podcast. And do not forget to tag us and the comics on social media. Thank you.